Hello and welcome to, I'm probably going to butcher pronunciation for this, but welcome to Makoto Wakaido's Case Files. This is a game that has four distinct, roughly hour-long adventures. This is going to be like a four-part series. Over the next, I don't know, however many days it takes me to do it, so just going to jump in with the Executioner's Linchpin. I would like to thank Player 2 for giving me a free review copy, so here, for the little one. I am the old guy. You're always so nice. You didn't need to. I do, and you know it. Anyway, see you. Or thanks. Goodbye, old man. Thank you for the things you've done. Like a nice person. Was that a friend of yours, Gramps? That's right. He even got you a little gift. You. Thanks. Hey, won't you tell me another story from your detective days? Why not? Let me think. Remember that murder case I told you about? The Light of Martyrs one? Of course. You never got to catch the culprit, right? Right, but there's more to that story. We found a third victim. I feel like this is a terrible story to tell your grandkid. And that brought the case to its tragic end. Between 1981 and 1982, two murders took place in K-City, H Prefecture, Japan. Both murder scenes showed the same gruesome sight. The victim had been decapitated and hung from a telephone pole. The investigation revealed that the two victims had something in common. They were devout members of the same religious group. Nevertheless, despite their best efforts, the police was unable to pinpoint the murderer. Until, in 1983, yet another man was found dead under similar circumstances. Oh, God. That was like an unexpected amount of violence in the beginning. Alright, examine people and things to gather clues. I am using a controller, but you can also use your keyboard if you prefer. Look for clues at the crime scene. Well, let's talk to the cop first. Hello. I'm Wakaido from the Prefectural Police. I'll be in charge of this case. Detective Wakaido, your reputation precedes you. I've already collected some information from the crime scene. Let me know if you need it to know anything. Yes, tell me about the victim, good sir. We know who the poor fella is. We haven't been able to confirm his identity since he's missing his head. That's not funny. I shouldn't laugh, alright. We are currently investigating to find out more, like find his body. I guess in the 80s we didn't really have DNA testing as much as we do now. The cause of death. Cause of death? We believe he was strangulated and decapitated after death. The modus operandi seems to be the same as those two past murders. We got a first lead. The victim was decapitated. When do you think he died, my dude? Our best estimate is between yesterday, 11 p.m. and today, 2 a.m. A narrow window. The body was found around 5 a.m. by a fisherman who happened to be passing by. Did they only send you to the scene? Oh, sir, there's another officer with me. Feel free to ask him for any information as well. I better talk to the other cop, too. 2 leads. Okay, that's it for this guy. So there's no way, I don't know what time it is now, but there's no way that this guy died that long ago and is still bleeding. Okay, listen to the other cops first. Hey, Detective Wakaido, wonderful to see you again. You were on those 2 other murders as well, right? I'm counting on you. Yes, sir. Oh, I didn't mean to push that so quick. What do you make of all this? The similarities with the cases from last year and the year before that are obvious. It's either a killer who loves the macabre or religion could be involved. How should I go about gathering info? You can raise certain pieces of information on your notepad, and you'll be able to ask to find out more about them. Right on me, sir. Okay. Well, I don't... Oh, wait, hold on. I don't actually see something that I should use. I think I have to find something first. Detective, we have another ghastly case on our hands. The body. Tell me all we know about the victim's body. Sir, just as in the murders from last year and 2 years ago, the head has been removed. The victim was wearing slacks and a long coat. He was probably in his 40s. Are there any witnesses? One, sir. Fisherman who found the body. Left him for questioning. Cool. Let's talk about the estimated time of death. Okay, so apparently the time of death isn't really vastly important here. Oh. What do we know about the victim? An off-the-rack coat and leather shoes, both kind of worn out. Looks like a salesman on a terribly successful one. Alright, let's talk to this dude then. First, sir, I don't see the whole thing. What? I'd like to know more about that. What did you see? What exactly did you see? I come by every morning for fishing, right? But today I done hear some heckin' noise, so I gone take me a look. And out of nowhere comes a black something rushing past like mad. Say, what's that swaying thing? So it take me one better look, and it's some dead folk. That done send the old heart racing, let me tell ya. The black something. What was the black thing you saw? Easy to say, being dark round and all. But 'twas pretty heckin' big. Must have been a man, tell you that much. Oopsies. Man at the crime scene. Okay. Leave. The man at the crime scene. Can you tell me more about it? Nope. Alright. Okay, he's not telling me anything else, so I think it's time to start investigating. Yep, no half-staff to mourn this guy. Suit pants and a long coat, male, somewhere in his 40s. Ain't getting much more info from this. Body's hanging from a telephone pole. I don't see any other of the victim's belongings around. Look even more thoroughly enhanced, if you will. What's this? His coat pocket is bulging, but there's nothing inside. Somebody must have taken whatever was in it. I better ask the local cops. And check this out. There's some symbol drawn in blood. What do we got clue-wise? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe there's a total of 8. Okay, so these are the people I can actually still talk to. It's pretty cool that they have that. They give you kind of an idea of who else you can talk to. But considering both of the cops look the same, I mean, it's a little hard to figure out who I should be talking to. Yes, sir, I was just informed of this. Forensics found something that belonged to the victim. The matchbox from a bar called a Bacchanal. The victim probably visited that location shortly before his death. Alright, we got one more lead. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, let's go. Oh, let's talk about the symbol. Okay, we're not talking to this cop about it. Really, they should have maybe, I don't know, changed up the cops just a little bit to make it a little bit easier. But anyway, about the symbol, I think there's some religious cult that uses a similar one. Alright, alright, so let's Go talk to this dude. We're not going to deduce anything yet. Do anything about the symbol on the road sign. Got my knees shaking is all I know. That's some cursed stuff you got there. Okay, that was so not hopeful. It's time to deduce. Figure out the crime. We've solved the problem already. No, I have no idea. Obviously, somebody from the cult killed him. We couldn't confirm the victim's identity. Why is that? Because the victim was decapitated. Yes, difficult to find who someone is when they're missing their head. Ooh, look at this. I'm like the world's greatest detective right now. I'm basically Batman. What kind of person was he? He was... Oh, he's wearing a coat, so... Who is our witness? A witness is the man at the crime scene. One is a symbol of a religious cult. The other is a piece of evidence that hints the location the victim recently went to, and that, my friends, was the matchbox from a bar. Found a new location. The bar. Scrap the info I'm not going to need anymore. I wonder what info they decided they don't need. So it looks like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have a total of 8 locations. And that took about 10 minutes to kind of go through that spot. So yeah, I feel like I may have been bamboozled a little bit. Unless I get through these bars very quickly, I don't see how this would only be an hour. Alright, we need some leads. Let's go talk to the lady who's smoking. Also, let's go. May I? What do you need, handsome? We aren't open yet. You know, I will say it's always nice when you go to a bar and the bartender calls you handsome. Guy, girl, doesn't matter. The bartender calling you handsome, it makes you eager to buy more alcohol. There's been a murder close by. Have you seen anyone shady around? That's how I would describe most of our clientele. And we get new customers every day, so... Alright, well, you're not very helpful. Thanks, bartender. Yeah, drink some booze. I'm on the job right now. Well, I'm glad that you decided not to actually drink. Welcome. We aren't open yet, though. Detective Wakaido, police. I have a few questions. Please, officer. Mine is a reputable and entirely legal establishment. I bet. Okay, so... I think we need to actually talk to them with our notebook out. Okay, well, okay, now he wants to give me information. The victim had a matchbox from your bar. Know anything about that? Don't reckon I do. I value my customers' privacy. Can't just go and run my mouth about everything I see here. Please find yourself someone else to bother. Alright, so the barkeep won't collaborate. Oh, no. Let's go and switch over to our note. What's the deal with that barkeep? He's a bit cold, I know. I hear money's a bit tight, maybe worn up to if you order something expensive. Okay. Do I have to, like, order something? Order some Order a drink. Ooh, a whole bottle. Wow. Oh, with pleasure. Thank you for your patronage. Let me know if I can help you with anything, officer. Tell me about the guy who took the matchbox. Matchbox, huh? Oh, right. He was half of a strange couple of guys. One with a long coat and another with a weird robe on him. They kept to themselves and were chatting to each other the whole time. Makoto was sitting next to them, so maybe she caught something. Makoto? That'd be the Missy sitting over there. Doesn't run the place or anything, she's just an employee. Alright. 5 new leads. With the shady guy's appearance. What did the two men look like? You remember their faces? What kind of people they were? Anything? Not really. Well, now that I think about it, the man in the long coat looked like your average salesman. The other one looked like a wizard or something. Seriously, he was wearing a robe and he had this long beard. Believe me, he was so creepy. Just thinking about him is giving me the chills. Well, I would say the guy that looked like a wizard probably looked awesome, because who doesn't want to look like a wizard? What were the two men talking about? I wouldn't know. They were kind of whispering to each other. The bearded one, the one with the robe, did most of the talking. The one with the coat was hanging from his lips. And then the coat guy said he'd drunk enough for the night and he should go back to his hotel. The only hotel here, or near here, is the Toyo? Toyo? That is where we're gonna go with the Toyo, so I think that's the one he was talking about. Oh yeah, we still need 4 more. Maybe does he know anything about the guests? No. I really like that they give you this kind of option here to like kind of get a little bit more information, but I feel like it seems like everything I could possibly get from that location I've received, but I could be wrong. I might have to go back, but I don't think so. Alright, they have cameras. Maybe the closed circuit television recording something, or recorded something useful. Let's ask him about the TV cameras first. Hello, sir. Welcome to the Toyo Hotel. Detective Wakaido, police. I want to ask about a murder that took place last night. Oh, you're with the police. I'll be happy to help you, officer. Did you notice anything suspicious? A very broad question. We welcome many guests here throughout the day, so are you looking for anyone in particular? Can you show me the CCTV tapes? Certainly. Please give me a minute. These are yesterday's images. You can see the man in the coat leaving the hotel. It looks like he's meeting with someone, but it doesn't show who that is, not clearly. A middle-aged man with a long coat. That's our guy. Alright, so... wait, there's a computer. So maybe we can see if they know who it was that checked in. How do I use the receptionist's computer? Please enter the information I want to search for. Okay, I'm gonna need a little bit more information, obviously. Okay, so I guess gonna go back to the bar. And maybe we can confirm if, like, that is... Oh, you're pretty sure you got all the information you could get from here, but wait, but we have the photo. I guess maybe we can go back to the crime scene. Maybe the guy who is there knows what the guy looked like. Uh, the answer is no. Right, well, I guess let's go back to the hotel. Okay, so there's more people here that I just didn't see. Oh no, there's nothing else here. Did you notice anything suspicious? That's a very broad question. Yeah, I'm looking for that specific guy. Specific guy. I asked about the tapes. He gave me the tapes. Oh, okay, well, I didn't realize there was another one that I missed. Did you see a couple of men coming here together? One was wearing a long coat, and the other was something like a robe. I think we do have a guest who often wears a long coat, and a long-term guest at that. His name? Yes, Mr. Ada. However, he did not come back to the hotel last night. I'm afraid I don't know anything about the man in the robe, however. Coat man equals Ada. Alright, let's use this receptionist computer. Oh, let me choose the correct choice here. Can you look up Ada and tell me his address? Yes, please wait. Information found. His home address is not far from here. Why do you stay long-term in a hotel, then? A good question. That feels kind of shady. Okay, well, where's his house? I just got the address, but there's, like, no house? What? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that should have, like, unlocked, like, a new location. Oh, it's because the deduction popped up and I didn't catch it. I guess I wasn't used to, like, looking up top. I'm gonna have to pay a little bit more attention to that. Alright, time to put everything together. I retraced the victim's step to the bar in the hotel. I got witnesses at the bar, saw a man taking a matchbox. Who did the barkeep see on the night of the murder? Well, he saw two suspicious guests. Potential suspect has a robe and long beard. That's who we think might have killed Mr. Ada. Why is it so weird for him to stay there? Because his house is near the hotel. New location will be unlocked. Ada's apartment. Bam. Detective of the Year. Let's talk to the old lady. She knows something. She might be actually the person who did it. Maybe she wore the robe and fake beard. Detective Wakaido, police. I'm investigating a murder. I need to see Ada's apartment. Oh, sure you do. Sure, go and look, sweetie. Oh dear, wait, did you say murder? Is Ada alright? I'm worried about him, you know. It's been a few days since I last saw him. What can you tell me about Ada, the man who lives here? Oh, Ada, he's a nice fellow. Nice and neat, yes? You couldn't get on anyone's wrong side if you tried. Are these apartments rented? Oh, no, we all own ours. Ada and his missus have been living here for, 10 years now? Lovely woman she is. Ada's been so gloomy since she was hospitalized. Poor soul. Where does Ada work? His wife told me it's, Kusumoto Sales Agency, was it? Near the station, that is. Woman is giving us all kinds of clues. Did you happen to see a man with a long beard and a robe? Oh, sure, I sure did. That was on the last day I saw Ada. Come to think of it. A robe and a beard, can you imagine? That's no proper folk, not at all. Apartment manager's still a suspect too. You know where the man in the robe is. You know about the Light of Martyrs cult, don't you, officer? Their followers, they'd come and preach to our doors too. That fellow with the robe must be their head priest. I've seen his face before. On the telly, was it? Let's at least give me all the clues. Oh, nope, wrong one. Stop telling me the things that I don't. I already know these things. Stop it. This Ada. Oh yes, no mistake. That's Ada alright. Alright, so we know that Ada's definitely dead. Looks like Ada was staying long-term at the Toyo, the hotel near the station. Last month, wasn't? Ada told me he wanted to sell his apartment. Out of the blue, that was. I figured that maybe, his missus had passed, so I didn't pry any further. No siree. He must have sold all his furniture, so maybe that's why he was staying at the hotel. Ada was going to sell his house, huh? That would explain why he was staying in that hotel. 6 out of 13. Oh, we got quite a few leads going on. What do we have here? Would you look at this? It looks like they might have killed him here. There's barely any furniture in here. The plastic sheet kind of contained it, but there's a ton of blood. The victim got decapitated here. This is a crime scene if I ever saw one. The murderer must have washed his bloody hands here. Blood-stained saw. This must have been through the victim's neck. No cheapo saw either. Brand stuff. There can't be that many stores carrying it. See, what do we get here? I think we're gonna go and ask about if he knows where you can buy a saw. Shops with saws. Is there any hardware store nearby? Because the killer obviously would have bought a saw close by. I mean, I guess stranger things have happened. Oh yes, that there is, sure is. That one, you know the one. Cat's Hand, what's it? With the kitten logo. They sell this and that, and tools too. Hardware stuff. Okay. Thanks, lady. We are on our way to the shop. General store, Cat's Hand. Oh, we get a box. What's in the box? What's in the box? There are a few kinds of saws on display. Search a saw from that search for a saw of that brand. The saw I found on the murder scene. It was a Shark brand saw, I believe. Ah, a Shark. This is a part where I would like to do a special shout out to a very specific robot space shark, because videos like this happen because of the inspiration I received from them. So, thank you. What is between the shelves? What's this? The head priest pendant. Well, that's peculiar. Give me your money. That's the register. It's full of copies of receipts. Can I examine it a little bit further? Okay, we'll have to talk to this dude here momentarily about some stuff, I'm sure. Welcome. Detective Wakaido, I'm investigating a murder case. Detective? Murder? Ooh, that's a lot. Happy to help if I can. Do you sell saws here? We sure do. Anything from small do-it-yourself tools to professional woodworking instruments. They're on that shelf over there. Alright, saw brand shark. Who bought this saw? Azuin bought one of these saws recently. Shark saws? I've sold quite a few even just in the last few days. Give a list of the buyers. Nay, no such thing. Oh, we're looking at the same thing, sorry. The pendant. I found this on the floor between the shelves. Do you know it? What's that? Never seen it before. What can you tell me about the man with the robe? I remember he bought a bunch of stuff. Saw, plastic sheets, duct tape. Pretty suspicious set of items, come to think of it. You think? Okay, hold on. Let's see what else do we have here. Oh, no. You know about the cult called Light of Martyrs. Don't know about any cults, but the name rings a bell. Must have read it on a receipt or something. Think. Oh, no, we have some more stuff that I did not expect. Did a man with a robe and a long beard come here? A robe and a long beard. Oh, right. He was here yesterday. About a saw, plastic sheet, and some other stuff. Which we already know about. I wish you could bring up your notes without actually having to exit conversation. You know the man in this picture? I might be wrong, but I think it's a customer who's been here a few times. Why was he involved in that murder case? I mean, involves a good way of putting it. Did the man from the picture come here yesterday? No, I don't think he did. Still, I could be wrong. We have one more clue. Oh, click on this. That's the register. It's full of copies and receipts. Examine the receipts. What's this? This receipt says Religious Association, Light of Martyrs. Damn, we've solved the puzzle. Very proud of my detectiving skills. So far, I feel like I'm really getting close to solving this murder. Time to put together all the info I have. Who was the victim? The victim was Ada. Hey, what was the question? While retracing the steps of the man with the coat, I found out the victim's identity. Who was he? The victim's Ada. Okay, well, it's just like a weird way of... You have to select the correct one. It seems like you can't get the wrong one, so that's pretty cool. Where did he die? He died in his house. Okay. I don't know, for me, it's like I can put that together relatively easy. But I guess you do have to choose the correct one. I'm glad that you can't do the wrong thing. He was part of this religious cult. But I wonder which one would work best. We're gonna try this one. Yeah, well then I guess it's just plain old religious cult. Nope, not it. Okay, saw. Not to be a man with the robe, but what organization did he belong to? Were we talking about the cult, Light of Martyrs? Okay, I guess there's like, you definitely have to get the right one. I think several of those clues actually lead you into exactly what you're thinking, but... There is the receipt. A new location has been found. The workplace. He says he scrapped the information that he doesn't need, but it's like he gets rid of it, but then he comes back. So we have 1, 2, 3 more locations. Yeah, so I was definitely wrong. I thought for a second that it was going to take close to 10 minutes per location, but it's certainly not the case. In leads. Who are you? Detective Wakaido, police. I'm here to ask about a Mr. Ada. I've heard he worked here. What would the police want to know about Ada? Used to be. Just recently he said he returned his resignation to try to stop him, but he wouldn't listen. Said he got a call to Faith or something. Alright, well, Ada is dead, my dude. Maybe he knows about Ada's wife. Did Ada ever tell you anything about his wife? Last year, I think it was, he told me she'd been hospitalized. Pretty serious condition. And the treatment was going to cost him an arm and a leg. Every day after work, he'd go see her at the city hospital. Very devoted. Good on him for, doing that. You know about the cult called Light of Murders. That's the one that got Ada, isn't it? That's pretty much all I know about it. Very easy for me to click on the wrong thing. A man has been murdered, and that man is very likely to be Ada. What? Ada? He was never the type to get involved in anything like that. What about trouble in the workplace? Any run-ins? Absolutely not. I couldn't even imagine it. Ada was kind and affable. He steered clear of any kind of trouble. If anything, everybody was grateful for him. Who'd hold a grudge against someone like that? Well, obviously the cult. They did not like how nice his face looked, I guess. I really don't know. Heard that Ada was going to sell his apartment. Did you know about this? Yes, I thought he needed to pay for his wife's treatment. But the rumors here said that he wanted to donate it all to that cult of his. Dang. That's just awful. Alright. Go talk to this lady over here. She seems really nice. Detective Wakaido, I'm with the police. Can I ask you a few questions about Ada? Mr. Ada, is he alright? No, he is dead. Please tell me what you know. He worked hard, but he never stood out much. And since his wife was hospitalized, he's been showing up less and less. Yeah, that'll do it. Did Ada ever talk about his wife? Did he? He loved her so much he barely talked about anything else. And once she got hospitalized, you could see how much that got to him. It was a sorry sight. I think we're gonna have to go to the hospital and see if his wife is there. You know about a cult called Light of Murders. That's the cult Ada was a member of, right? I heard rumors about their beliefs. I thought it better to keep my distance. Mr. Ada was convinced that donating his house to the cult would cure his wife of her illness. Sounds like a huge scam, if you ask me. I'm gonna agree with you. I think that probably was a scam. A man has been murdered, and that man is very likely to be Ada. That Mr. Ada, but why? He was such a good man. Maybe too good to even see the evil in other people. But murdered? I'm at a loss for words. How about this? Seen it before? It's not exactly like that, but all members of the cult wear a similar pendant. Have you ever been to their church? Ada invited me to one of their meetings once. I ended up not going, but I should still have the flyer with the address. Oh, you have just been an astounding assistant. As we're almost there. We've almost solved the puzzle. It must be nice for it to be so easy to solve crimes in Japan. I feel like they don't have nearly as many crimes as we do here in the United States. Detective Wakaido, with the police, I believe that there is a Mrs. Ada here. I need to talk about her husband. Oh, Ada, she's staying with us, yes. Is there anything I should know about? Yeah, her husband's dead. I'd like to hear about Mrs. Ada's husband. She's been staying with us. Since she's been staying with us, her husband has come to see her every single day. But he hasn't showed up yesterday. Apparently he's not answering her calls either. She's very worried. Yeah, she should be, because he's dead. I'm sorry, that's not funny. Poor guy. me about Mrs. Ada's illness, because that's irrelevant. If left untreated, she would die within a year. She needs to be hospitalized and receive constant medical attention. Insurance doesn't cover this kind of treatment, so it's bound to be expensive. This is just a part where I would like to say that there should be universal and free healthcare in every single location on Earth, because it's like one thing people should never have to worry about is being able to afford whether they can stay alive or not. Do you know anything about a cult called Light of Martyrs? I've heard the name, yes, but that's as much as I know. Alright, well you weren't very helpful, dude. Very likely that Mr. Ada has been murdered. Really? That's most unfortunate. Who's going to pay for his wife now? What a terrible doctor. Oh my gosh. Really? I'm not even going to start talking about the fact that her husband's dead until the end, I think. Anything happened to my husband? Are you familiar with the cult Light of Martyrs? I've never even heard about it. What does it have to do with my husband anyway? Well, I figure if I tell her husband is dead right away, she's going to get upset. Have you heard about his plans to sell the house? Not one word. Leave all money matters to him. I mean, he is in a hospital and dying, so maybe it's just something that she's not too worried about right now. So I assume that his plans to donate the house to the cult is news to you as well. I can't believe he'd ever do something like that. Your husband was known by his colleagues for how much he loved you. I see. He put everything on the line for my sake. I don't understand how this could happen to him. Oh, well, she doesn't. How does she know? Has she put things together? Did she kill him? I don't know. I haven't told him that she's dead, but she seems to know. The thing is, he was a member of that cult. If he was, I'm sure he'd have told me. She's very, she doesn't think, any degree of ill about her husband. Kind of endearing. They've been paying for it. Yeah, so far Mr. Ada has been paying all bills on time without fail. What if he stopped? Then I'm afraid we'd have to discharge her. Jeez. Awful. How are you paying for your treatment? My husband always took care of it. He even bought life insurance just in case. All for my sake. Oh. Well, actually, the life insurance should put him in a pretty good situation to where they should now be able to pay for everything. Oh crap. What? That's impossible. Why would anyone murder him? He never hurt a fly. Or he did hurt a fly, and that fly then came back into human form and sawed off his head. Got revenge. Time to put together all the info I got. I got a clear picture of Ada's situation prior to the murder. At his workplace, he was seen as a good, diligent man. The one thing troubling him was his wife's illness. What about this was he concerned about? I mean, a lot? Probably the medical bills? And apparently, that was the right choice. Talking to his colleagues made something else clear. Ada got involved with the cult and started showing up less frequently at work. He'd become convinced that Faith could save his wife. He even handed a cult flyer to that same colleague. How was he involved with the Light of the Martyrs cult? He was a follower? In light of his wife's illness, Faith was probably the only straw he could grasp at. I'm getting all these right this time. He was known for how much he loved his wife. He visited her at the hospital every single day after work. His wife's testimony makes me think the two spoke a lot during those visits. But there was something that he never told her about. What did he keep her wife in the dark about? He did not tell her that he was in a cult. All his colleagues knew that Ada was a cult member, but somehow his wife didn't. Most likely he didn't want her to worry. Yeah, most likely. She probably wouldn't have approved, and that's what it was. Ada was planning to sell his house. I'd assumed he'd use the proceeds to pay for his wife's medical bills, but I was wrong. What was he planning to do with the house? He was going to gift it to the cult. Ada probably felt like he was in the middle of a long, dark tunnel, and the light he saw at the end of it was the Light of Martyrs. Pretty clear they're involved somehow. I need to get some hard proof to show the cult had a hand in this. Time to get a warrant, or perhaps a subpoena. I don't know what you would do in this case. I probably get a warrant. Alright, we got 2 more locations. Or we can solve the murder. Hello, cultist. May the light of the martyrs shine. Welcome to the Church, the Light of Martyrs. If you wish to be enlightened about our faith, feel free to ask me. Sure. What do you people believe in? We of the Light of Martyrs believe in the spirit of self-sacrifice. Sacrificing oneself is the key that will lead humanity to its next stage. Okay, who's the head priest of this church? Our head priest is the Venerable Sata, the first martyr. What is the first martyr? Right as the world was falling into darkness, the Venerable Sata became a martyr. He decapitated himself and through his sacrifice rescued the world. We all owe our lives to him. Weird. Okay, You know this pendant. Did somebody drop that? I'm afraid it's not mine. Off his own head. Let me get this straight. The head priest saved the world by cutting off his own head. Precisely. He has saved us all by decapitating himself twice in the past. I'm sorry, twice? Can't be serious. Say what you will, but I have seen the Venerable Sata with his head cut off, with my very own eyes. It was a dreadful sight to witness, but then he came back to life. Okay. This place is insane. Ask you something. May the light of the martyrs shine. The spirit of self-sacrifice will change the world. Okay, that guy doesn't talk to us, but this guy certainly will. Ah, may the light of the martyrs shine. Self-sacrifice, yes. If you sacrifice yourself, any wish can come true. This man is called Ada. Have you ever seen him? I have, yes. He wasn't that consistent with his visits at the church, however. But I have seen him talk with both the Venerable Sata and the Lesser Grand Priest. Okay. Good to know. Actually, I should ask this guy who he is, because I don't know who he is. You remember this cult too? Of course I am. Since I joined the Light of Martyrs, everything in my life has started going well. Everything. Going to church every day is what has made me as happy as I am. Have you ever been to a shop called Cat's Hand? I do not visit any indecent shops. I mean, I wouldn't consider the Cat's Hand a general store, a place that would be indecent, but excuse me, whatever. May the light of the martyrs shine. I am the Lesser Grand Priest. Let me know if you wish to join us or make a donation. You're asking for donations? What? We never ask for anything. Our followers simply decide to sacrifice themselves and their belongings out of their own volition. What is going on? Self-sacrifice opens the path to understanding the world's truth. Sacrifice everything in you, too, may be blessed with the Venerable Sata's sacred light. This man is called Ada. Have you ever seen him around here? We are visited daily by droves of followers wishing to see the Venerable Sata. It's difficult to say. May the light of the martyrs shine. The dropped pendant, does this belong to your church? Where did you find this? It's a symbol from the Light of Martyrs. I am positive that it is ours. However, it's slightly different from the ones we wear. Could it be the head priest? Yeah, we think it's the head priest. See this receipt? This proves your cult is involved in a murder case. Your cult ain't praying its way out of this one, bud. Catch my drift? You foolish heretic. You do not understand the Venerable Sata. He does what must be done, nothing more and nothing less. He would never murder someone. Begone! Stop lying. Are you going to arrest us all? I've done nothing. I know nothing. One of your followers said that he's seen you and Sata talk to Ada. The head priest and I. Oh yes, I remember now. Mr. Ada wanted to donate his house and make a special sacrifice. But introduce him to the Venerable Sada. Finally, a link between Ada and that bearded bozo. He was very passionate as he spoke to the head priest. They even left the church together yesterday. They left together on the day of the murder, and Sata hasn't come back yet. Okay, I want to meet the head priest. I want to meet this Sata, the head priest. The head priest left yesterday and has not returned yet. Said he was seeking new places where to sacrifice his venerable self. I'm afraid he will not be back anytime soon. What special sacrifice are you talking about? The greater one's wish, the stronger their resolve, must be in order to have it granted. Self-sacrifice is proof of that resolve. It can take on any one of several shapes. For example, as first martyr, the Venerable Sada sacrificed his priceless life. God thought it necessary for him to come back to life, and so he did. He's the only person to ever have reached the next stage. What did Ada end up sacrificing? It could be Ida. I feel like it's Ida. I feel like I've been saying it wrong this whole time. That's between him and the head priest. I know where Sada is. I have no way to contact him. All we can do is keep sacrificing ourselves and praying until his much-awaited safe return. I was so worried that I personally visited his house, but he wasn't there. Is there anything else? Did I ask about the special sacrifice? Yes, I did. Surprised the guy didn't give me, like, the address. Okay, got a new wish granted while you were here. I sure did. My parents, who come from a long line of artisans, were constantly pressuring and abusing me. I wish for them to stop. As soon as I sacrificed a finger from my right hand, all the abuse stopped. This is the power of self-sacrifice. Sacrificed your finger? Exactly. It was the Venerable Sada, the martyr of miracles himself, who cut off my right index finger. It was the greatest of honors. People are weird. Hey. Okay, this guy doesn't give me any info. Who's this portrait of? That is the first martyr, the Venerable Sada. Okay, so that should be everything? Yeah. Time for deduction. The plot has thickened. Like some kind of weird Highlander situation, but their head grows back. I don't know. The man who's been seen in and around the crime scene with a long beard and a robe, who was he? He was... Ata, the head priest. What? Okay, we know it's Sada. Okay. I got like 3 different clues for Sada, and that very specific one had to be it. It's kind of weird, but okay. Cult believes in salvation through self-sacrifice, and their gruesome, absurd belief is... let's see... self-decapitation. What is the piece of proof? Let's see. Pendant. Leave. One more clue. What will we find this time? Alright. What was he doing on the day of the murder? No, that's not what I want. It was the one on top of that. We're gonna have evidence to prove the murder was Sata. I'll need to arrest him and get a confession. Let's check out the cliff over there. How did I deduce the cliff? Like, I mean, we know that he was going somewhere, you know, to do this stuff, but I don't know. that there was anything that really implied that he was going to be at the cliff, but here we are. We're at the cliff. Oh, we're going left instead of right. It's a little bit of a change of things. When his wife was hospitalized, Ada turned to the Light of Martyrs for help. And that cult's belief is that self-sacrifice can grant wishes. Ida, I'm going with Ida now. Ida must have thought that by quitting his job and donating his house, he could save his wife. Well, Sada, the head priest, doesn't. He preys on the weak and their suffering. There's a good chance those other two murders are linked to this as well. Huh? What's that? Oh, there's the priest. Let's go catch this guy and arrest him. Data, it's over. Now it's over. Into the line. And who are you? Thanks of Wakaido, police. And you are Sada, head priest of Light of Martyrs, I presume. Police, I see. Over. It is over, you say. You have followed my steps all this way, and you still don't understand. You see me now as I have worked my third miracle, and once again defeated death. Third miracle? I'd call that a third murder. You used Ida's weakness to make him donate his house and buy life insurance, then you killed him. You cut off his head and showed off his body to make it look like a miracle. You needed him to die for the insurance money, didn't you? You say all that as if you knew it to be true. There are witness testimonies detailing your every move since you left the church with Ida. And the symbol you drew near his body, that was to link it to your phony miracle. You instructed the lesser grand priest on what to say to buy yourself time after the murder. You were seen at the bar near Ida's apartment. And how do you explain this receipt from Cat's hand? Is his holiness into woodworking? What's that supposed to mean? It is a lesser grand priest who makes all purchases for the church. That ain't flying. Look here. See this pendant with the cult symbol on it? I found it at Cat's hand, near the shelf with the saws. It's not like the other members. It's yours. That beard, that robe, and that pendant. So much for your saint costume. You made yourself one easy-to-remember suspect, Sada. You probably used your followers to create alibis for you until now, but your luck's run out this time. I have worked miracles. No, Sada, what you did is kill people. Even as we speak, there are lost souls out there who need to know self-sacrifice to be saved. Spare me the sermon. You tricked all those schmucks into giving you money, but it won't work on me. You foolish man who cannot believe in miracles. I'll show you one right now. Wait, Sada. I'm ready to sacrifice myself to save the world. Wait, stop it. I am the savior. With my sacrifice, I will redeem the world. Sada, no, don't do it. Oh gosh, that dude jumped off the cliff. He can usually recover off of a, decapitation, but can he survive jumping off a cliff? Right after saying that, Sata jumped off the cliff. It's Sata getaway. Beats me. The best I could do was getting him cornered. Shucks. I failed to get justice for Ida, and I couldn't even catch the prime suspect. All I could do was look down from the cliff while clenching my fists around Sada's pendant. Wasn't much of a story, huh? Sorry to bore you. Now, why don't you head home? Wait a second. What's wrong? Oh, there are a couple of things about your story that don't sit right with me. Gramps, you're lying, aren't you? What are you talking about, Makoto? Sorry, but I don't want to go home while all my doubts are still stuck in a maze. I, Makoto Wakaido, will solve this mystery. Interesting. Time to put together all I know. What is it about my story that's bugging you? Well, it's difficult to put into words. What you told me is believable, but there are a couple of weird turns. And what would those be? The first one is the pendant. When you first found the pendant, what did you call it? The cult's pendant. No, okay, so he called it the head priest pendant. Yeah, you said it was a head priest pendant. I was right, wasn't I? You were, or rather, you turned out to be. But when you just found it in the shop, you had no way of knowing who it belonged to. Granted, but what of it? That inconsistency made me realize something. Thought that maybe you were trying to set up a misdirection. What do you mean, misdirection? You know, like in mystery novels, you were leading me to an explanation that was plausible, but wrong. What? It all makes more sense this way. My theory is that you were pretending to investigate. In reality, you were setting up clues. Why in the world would I do that? Because you already knew the truth. That's what I think. There's one more thing about the pendant that doesn't make sense. And what's that? When you showed the pendant around while questioning people, they responded all in the same way. They said they'd never seen it. Right. Several witnesses said they'd seen a man wearing a robe, but none of them mentioned having seen that pendant. Are you saying that the pendant didn't belong to him? That's not quite right either. I think that he was wearing it, but his long beard covered it, and nobody could see it. Now, where did you really find the pendant? Not really so. Well, I mean, I thought like the general shop, but okay, so maybe it was at Ida's house. The only explanation. There's only one way you could have seen the pendant normally hidden by Sada's beard, and that's when his head had been cut off. Huh? So you're saying? Yes, the truth is, Sada wasn't the culprit. Ida, who tried to pass off as the victim, was a real murderer. Gramps. Ida was alive the whole time. Makoto, you got something in you, something special. I'm sorry I lied to you. You're right. Ida's still alive. Will you tell me what really happened? You're too bright for my lies. Alright, champ. Well, that's a plot twist I did not expect. Remember that this happened in the 80s. Scientific investigation wasn't as precise back then. For the second cult follower murder, the head office wanted to end things quickly without wasting time looking for suspects. Wouldn't surprise me if Flight of Martyrs was pulling their strings. Those were bleak days. I ignored the brass and started investigating on my own. I set my sights on the Light of Martyrs head priest Sata and started following him. It just so happened that he'd found himself a new lamb to sacrifice. His name was Ida. The two walked together into Ida's house. I was right outside, listening. All of a sudden I heard fighting. What else could I do? I broke in. What's going on? You? Sata. You're Ida, aren't you? What's happened here? I made a terrible mistake. As I was finishing up the papers to donate my house, this man attacked me out of the blue. Fought back, lost control, and ended up strangling him. And who are you? I'm a police detective. I was following Sata. I guess this is as much following as I'm gonna get done. A detective? Does that mean I'm under arrest? I don't care what happens to me, but if I go to prison, who will look after my wife? Please. Won't you at least help her? Tell me about her situation. Ida's story filled me with sympathy. I swore I'd help his wife, and I did so, betraying both the police and the world at large. We set Sata up. We made it look like Ida had been killed, while Sata was still alive. We cut off Sata's head with a saw we bought from the general shop. That's when I found the pendant. I pretended I'd found it during the investigation. Ada and I parted ways at the cliff, and after letting him go, I wrote a false report. I used his insurance money to pay for his wife's medical bills, while protecting their secret. That's how it really went. I'm really sorry I tried to fool you. I've been fooling everyone for so long now. Cramps. Did Mrs. Ida ever get well? She did. Her husband and I were able to see her final moments just a few days ago. They told me they were grateful for the years I afforded them. They live modestly, but in peace. I see. That friend of yours from earlier must have been Ada. Or Ida. Can't hide anything from you, can I? Detective Wakaido. Yeah. The case is closed. And that ends Makoto Wakaido's case files. Number 1, the Executioner Linchpin. As the credits roll, I'm just going to kind of reflect on the experience I just had. It certainly sets up kind of a good idea of what I'm going to be experiencing in the other chapters. And, I'm very hopeful that the other ones are going to be um, as entertaining as this one has been. I think it's very well, excuse me, I think it's very well written. The plot twist is surprising. I hope they don't all have like these kind of plot twists, just because I don't think it's going to make sense for every story to have this kind of plot twist, but we'll certainly see what happens as we go. I really like the art style. It's retro. It's still got like, it just feels really nice, even though there's only a few colors. Everything is kind of put together in a way that makes the game feel unique, stand out. There's plenty of detail in everything. At first, it was kind of like a little bit put off by the fact that nobody had faces, but the more I looked at it, the less that mattered, because the conversations alone and the little animations that are happening really gives some degree of, I guess, liveliness to the characters. I think it's well done. The music is very good. It's got that kind of like film noir style of sound of music going with it that I think was very fitting. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm very impressed with what I experienced so far. I definitely look forward to the next 3 chapters in the game, and given the nature of how this is, I am going to try to do these the same way. Every video will be going, jumping into whatever that detective case is, followed by, like, during the credits, those are my final thoughts. So, thank you for your work on the case, Finn. Yes. Cool. Let's go back to the title screen. I just want to see if it like marks off, showing that it's complete or anything. No, it just looks like I could load it if I wanted to. But yeah, so the next time will be the Boogeyman's Woods, which sounds like it'll be equally exciting. The link is in the description if you'd like to go and check this out yourself, and I hope you do. And then thanks for visiting and being here and watching and doing all the things that you did. And I hope your day is wonderful. And please don't join any crazy cults, because obviously those are terrible.